All right, so on your Civil 3D, everybody just start a blank drawing. Please don't open yours up. So start a brand new blank drawing. Now there's, like I said, a lot of this, there's a lot of pre-setup that you need to do in order to draw anything. And it's, for you guys, probably a week to 2 weeks of setting things up before you draw any pipes. A lot of this I'm going to give you the pipe catalogs. So what we're going to look at first is called the parts builder, where you build these sizes. And I've got this already done. I just want to show you where it is and show you how to access it. Because if you get put in that position in an industry where you need to fix it, it's just background information. So under the pipes drop down, we're all following along, right? We're going to go into parts builder. So pipes drop down, parts builder. Now again, this is for information, not for assignment. We have a bunch of stuff here. We have structures and we have pipes. Is anybody set to imperial or is everybody's metric? It should say metric right here. Okay, we're going to start taking a look at pipes. We're going to look at the pipes first, and then we're going to look at the structures. I'm going to see if I can increase the scaling on my screen. So under metric pipes, we have circular, we have egg-shaped, we have elliptical, and we have rectangular. Pretty standard these days to use circular pipes. I don't think I've ever really seen an egg-shaped one installed. Yeah, it's like an egg, right? It gets the fluid concentrated at the bottom so it flows faster. So anybody watch that documentary I posted on D2L? The one about sewers, the Sewer King? Sorry? You've seen parts of it? It's actually a well done documentary. It's only 45 minutes. It has an egg-shaped sewer, right? Get the bottom flowing faster. Here we just ensure the slope is at least 0.9. I don't think I've seen an egg-shaped one. That doesn't mean they don't exist here. So circular pipes I've seen, and rectangular. Pipes, parts builder? And then I've selected pipe from the drop-down list. So we have circular pipes and we have rectangular pipes. This is pretty standard you'll use these days. Circular ones under the road, rectangular ones are the big concrete box culverts. They're probably 2 meters by 3 meters. They are also in that Lafarge catalog. If you scroll down, you can see some of these bigger concrete pipes. I think I've seen them used once or twice in Calgary. Underneath of Las Vegas, they have a ton of these. Under the strip, they have multiple box culverts for the 1 or 2 times a year it rains. So if you wanted to look up the stormwater in Las Vegas, just Google Las Vegas stormwater design, and it'll come up with pictures of people living in them. But you'll see that they store a lot of water underground because they get a lot of water fast. Right? When it rains in Vegas, it rains, and it doesn't rain very often. So let's take a look at concrete pipe SI. So I'm going to double click on concrete pipe SI. It should open up. Another drawing is possibly going to give you a warning that was last saved with an earlier version of the software, because this hasn't changed in years. So I'm going to close that. And it's going to pop up another panorama tool space type window with some stuff in it. Now, if you look at your screen, there are some lines and circles and text. Do not touch any of this. You can touch your mouse. Just don't modify this. Don't draw on it. Don't change it. Don't do anything to this, because a lot of this is built on equations, right? And we need some information. So if we look up what's BDYD1, probably body diameter. piece diameter. So it's based on some equations. Don't modify what's on the drawing window. What we are going to look at is in this tool space window that popped up under size parameters. I'm going to right click on size parameters and go edit values. So what ships with Civil 3D? What pipe sizes for concrete? Everywhere from 100 millimeter diameter concrete pipe. I don't think you can actually build something that small out of concrete without it collapsing relatively easy. Or the amount of rebar needed would be insane. So there's a lot of sizes that come shipped with Civil 3D, everything from 100 all the way up to 4,000 millimeters in diameter. Now this is what you guys see on yours. This is default. This needs to be modified for that City of Calgary document, or the Lafarge document. So what I had to do was open this up, the Lafarge pipe catalog. And I had to pull these numbers off here. So the actual inner diameter of a 300 pipe is 305. And what I had to do is come in here, double click, type 305. So I came in here and changed this. I've got a very riveting YouTube video if you want to really see me do it sped up. But I'm going to give you the pipe catalog. So I had to come in here and change this. This is fully changeable. It's not a problem. 300 diameter. You also have to put in the wall thickness. Manning's N, if you really want. This is more for an additional piece of software. Then these last two things are formulas. So part size name, this is 300 millimeter concrete pipe. If I change this to 305, it now comes up with 305 millimeter concrete pipe, which that's what's going to display in your drawing is 305. Right? It looks weird, but just go with it. And the BDY, body diameter, 305. Like that's the inner diameter. So you need to come in here and delete what you don't need and add what you do. However, don't go and change anything in this because this is computer specific. You change it on this file, it will forever be changed on your Civil 3D until you install a new version anyways. So again, computer specific. This is the start of the disaster, is changing these. So I'm going to give you these files. We're going to put them somewhere, maybe on your somewhere on your C drive, but we're all going to do the same folder, so I know where it is. And I've got a table filled out correctly in terms of this. So, any questions about this? So we can cancel that. And then if you hover over the side of this dialog box that popped up and hit X and go no. And don't save it. And while you guys are doing that, don't do what I'm doing. Okay, so what I've done is I've loaded the new catalog on mine. We're going to open up the same PVC pipes, and I'm going to show you what's different. So go back to Parts Builder, Pipes, Parts Builder. I'm going to double click on PVC pipe now. Anybody know what SI stands for? International units, Standard International. Real numbers, not made up imperial numbers. So again, I've double clicked on PVC pipe SI. Everything looks the same, right? When we go back to size parameters and edit value, no, not that one. Edit values. You guys are going to have an absolutely ginormous list of pipe sizes. Right? How many do I have? 14. You have 31 or something. Right, so I've gone through in this catalog, and this is all the city sizes. So if we want to reference that PVC pipe catalog, it should match between the catalog and what I have here. So this is what I'm giving you. This is already done, which is why this is for information only. So I've gone through, I've typed in inner diameter, wall thickness, and created this pipe catalog that is the City of Calgary equivalent. So probably tomorrow's class, I'll throw this on D2L, we'll download it, we'll extract it, and link your Civil 3Ds to it. So any questions about this? Yes. Yes. Chances are they're going to be the same, but chances are they might not be the same. So we also have a parts builder for manhole structures. Right, there's a lot more line items to change. We won't even open it up. I won't even show you the options that are there because some people, Frank, will go and change things. So with terms of a manhole, we have bottom thicknesses, we have wall thicknesses, we have the cone height at the top. So a manhole is just not a straight tube. It has a cone at the top with a 600 millimeter or something manhole lid cover. Anybody know why they're round? Sorry? They used to be rectangular, and teenagers would come in, turn them, and drop them in. You can't drop a manhole lid in if it's round. So they move over to round manhole covers. So a lot of information, cone heights, cone thicknesses, wall thicknesses, like slope of the cone. There's a lot of things that can be changed. We're just going to use a standard 1200 millimeter diameter manhole already built into the software. So the one thing, and definitely write this down, that you should do every time you go to start working on pipes is under pipes, there's a command set pipe network catalog. So every time you open your drawing and every time you go to work on pipes, confirm that this is correct. So the set pipe network catalog. Now I'm going to be giving you the files that I have linked here. So I've got a link to my O drive right now. I don't think any of you guys have referenced the O drive on your laptops. You're all staring at me blankly, so no. So tomorrow's class, we will download the file and we will set this up, and that will forever be your link. But number one, every time you go to work on this, just confirm that this is correct. It should be linked to the folder we're going to set up tomorrow. Right now, mine is set up for the O drive. Right, so I'm going to come in here. I'm going to double confirm it's referencing the same location, because if I start drawing pipes and I don't check this and it's somewhere else, I'm going to break my pipes. I'm going to have to start again. You guys don't have time for that. So just double check. It takes 15 seconds. And make sure it says metric pipe, metric structure. Right? I can switch to US, and then I'm putting imperial information in a metric drawing, and it's just downhill from there. So metric pipe catalog and metric structure catalog. So again, just double check this every single time you go to work on this. I know it's a pain, but this is going to help alleviate some of the disaster that this could be. Now, if this gets changed and you don't check it, you won't be able to draw pipes. It's going to let you draw manholes, but not pipes. And I don't know why. Right? I wish they would fix this and not make it as dependent on the C drive as it possibly is. But again, when you get to industry, you're only ever going to be pointing to a server. Forever going to be on that server. So again, just double check, right? Highlight this in red. Put some exclamation marks, underline it 17 times. Right? First thing, double check pipes, set pipe network catalog. You get scared already? So again, double check, double check, double check. The next thing, I don't think I've given you or maybe I have. We'll find out here in a second. So in your tool space, like I said, there's a ton of setup that needs to be done before we can draw anything. Who wants Civil 3D to monitor pipes for them and tell them when they violated something? Some of you look like, I don't know about this. Right? I let Civil 3D monitor some very basic information about my pipe, minimum slope. So am I violating the minimum slope? Am I violating cover? Am I violating this basic information? And if I am, very vaguely tell me about it. So in your tool space under the settings tab, you might have to build some of this for your assignment. It might be built in the template. I can't remember if I built it for you or not. But again, just double check everything. So if we scroll down under pipes, so settings tab, we scroll down, we should see pipe network, pipe structure, pressure network, pressure pipe fittings, appurtenances. This is where we're going to be playing with for the next week or two. So under pipes, we have pipe styles. So you need the styles already set up, and you should have those in your drawing. You should be existing sanitary, existing storm, EDT sanitary, and EDT storm. So the existing ones print green and orange with a dashed line type. The ones that are not existing print green and orange with a solid line type. So these ones I've already given you. The next thing we need to look at is pipe rules. And you guys possibly have all these. Pipe rule sets. Okay, you haven't opened the template then. So the template I gave you, which your drawing's already in, but stay in the basic one. Right, so what we need to do as designers or your CAD lead, right, part of going to work on standards, somebody's probably already built these, right? But you very well may, so every company I've ever worked for has not had a template. How do you move up quick in a company? Right, you go to your boss, hey, there's some inefficient things in terms of our drawings. There's no template for everybody to start from, right? This would take you guys probably 2 hours to set up, right? But if you have to do that on every single job, that's wasted time. So when I joined the company, I started building a template, right? And that puts you into kind of the CAD lead position, right? I'm the keeper of the template. So this, yes, it took me maybe an hour to build it, but it's an hour saved on everybody who starts a drawing that needs pipes, right? There's thousands of styles in a template, right? It's a monumentally massive task to get yourself in this position and have to build a template. So every year when class ends, so April 26th, I reopen the template and I go through it and I clean things up. And are there things that I miss every single year? Yeah. Right? There are things I miss, but I go through and I make sure it's still good and still working for the next year of students. Because if you guys had to build this, we would draw nothing over 8 months. And you probably still wouldn't be done it. Right? It's massive. So all this, anybody open up the template for this? Do you have this list? All of it? Man, I'm nice. So I probably already got it set up, but I'm not going to guarantee it's all correct. Just double check, right? So pipe rules, if you have to make a new one, everybody let's right click and go new, just so you can learn how to set it up. So I'm going to right click on pipe rule set and select new. You may or may not have to do this. Again, double check. Information, name it. I've got a bunch in here. They're pretty descriptive, right? Jason, what's this one for? 250 diameter storm, right? Very explainable. You're not using this one for a 250 pipe. So name it exactly what it is. Let's make a sanitary. Let's just make a sanitary 200 diameter, and we'll just call it new, because we can't have two styles with the same again, I want to show you how to build these so you know. Under the rules. Who likes rules? I'm going to add a rule. Now, category, there's only one category. It says storm sewer. That mainly means gravity drain. So when we build our sanitary rules, it's still storm sewer. It's just gravity drain. Now, the rule names, we have a bunch of different rules. And if you look, where is it saving it, or where is it getting information from? Your C drive. And this cannot be changed, I don't think. So what rules can we have? Cover and slope. We can have cover only, we can have a length check, we can have a pipe to pipe match, and we can have a set pipe end location rule. So knowing that you guys have done, I think you've done the first quiz on design guidelines. What rules do we have to adhere to? Sorry? Yeah, the city rules, but what from this list? What does the city care about? Cover. Do they care about slope? Yeah, so who said no? I've got exceptional hearing, by the way. So cover and slope, the city cares about cover, the city cares about slope. We're going to find out. Cover only is in cover and slope. We don't have to worry about it. What about length check? Do we care about how long the pipe is? Yes. We're going to use the maximum spacing between manholes. So when we draw it in Civil 3D, we're going to draw it as one long continuous pipe. Unless you want a headache, you can draw it in 6-meter sections if you really want, but good luck. So when I buy a piece of pipe, how long does it come? What's the length? They're about 6 meters long, 6 to 8 meters, right? So when you buy a piece of pipe that's 6 meters long, in Civil 3D, we're going to draw one length of pipe between manholes. We're not going to put a 6, a 6, a 6, a 6, a 6. You will never get your design done if you do it 6, 6, 6. So length check, we're going to be using length check. What about pipe to pipe match? So this one we might have to use if we have a tangent pipe to a curve back to a tangent, right? We don't have any of this in our design, but in the case you have a tangent, so a straight section to a curved, right? We'll draw 2 pipes in that case, one straight, one curved. And then this rule would be used to ensure they match up. But we don't have any of that curved nonsense in our drawing. Pipe end location, we're not going to worry about this one either. So what we're going to add, we're going to hit cover and slope and hit OK. Then we're going to add another rule that is length check and hit OK. So add those 2 rules and then we'll go and look at kind of what you set up. So we now have the, also within the add rules, you can't double click and change these, right? It just tells you which rule you added, but then you come into this window and change them. So what is the minimum slope of a 200 diameter sanitary pipe? Yeah, 200 diameter sanitary pipe. What's the minimum slope? 0.8%. Did you just look it up? Right? You're not going to have this memorized, as I do have this one memorized. But you're not going to, you'll probably eventually have the slopes memorized. Like I know that 200 is 0.8, and I believe 250 is 0.4. No, 0.4. And then it goes like 0.32, and then 0.28 or 2.4. So, right, I've been doing this a long time. I would still go look it up. I'm not going to trust this memory. Yes. Yes. Yeah. So minimum slope 0.8, maximum slope is what? It doesn't say. We don't know until we do that bonus mark of our spreadsheet. Right? So I'm just going to leave it as 8%. We're not going to have anything anywhere near 8%. Right? About probably 1%, 1.5% is that number where you don't want to cross. So we're just going to leave it as 8. Minimum cover. What's the minimum cover of a sanitary pipe? That's storm. 2 points, well, technically 2.5. But the city wants you 2.6 to 3. I say as a happy medium, I run them about 2.7. Right? And all this is it's going to monitor my pipe and it's going to alert me very vaguely when I violate a rule. Right? It's going to tell me that I'm violating minimum cover, and if it comes up to 2.6, I don't care. Right? It's more for me to see. What's maximum cover? Right? How deep can you bury a pipe? Yeah, you can buy a bigger excavator. Right? We can bury pipes 10, 15 meters deep, and there are some in Calgary that are probably 10 to 15. That one over there is 22 meters deep. Right? They brought in a tunnel boring machine because it's under a main road. So there really is no maximum depth. Now, I set this for 5 because that's going to be your cheapest design. And really, a lot of your pipes, well, probably a third of your pipes are going to violate maximum cover. Is that okay? Yeah, because they're going to be deeper than 5, right? 5 doesn't give us a whole lot of room to work with, right? 5 meters is a huge depth, but we're going to set it for 5, and if a 30 of your pipes violate maximum cover, that's okay. If 100% of your pipes violate maximum cover, that is not okay. Right? You can very easily get around this assignment by doing everything maximum depth. But as a developer, you're not going to pay for that either. And we have to think economics when we're designing, right? You tell the developer all the pipes are 8 meters deep, they're going to laugh at you and go on to the next consultant. So a lot of our pipes will not violate maximum cover. Any questions about that? Okay, maximum and minimum lengths. What is the maximum length of a pipe? What's the maximum spacing between manholes? 185. And you had that correct. So 185 meters. If my pipe is longer than 185, tell me so I can add another manhole. And what's the minimum length? This one doesn't really matter, right? We're going to leave it for 1. Okay, any questions about that? I'm going to show you. Okay, in terms of pipe-to-pipe match, we're not going to deal with it this semester, but we want to, if a pipe is coming down the road at 0.8% and it hits a curved section, let's open up Google. All right, so our 185 distance between manholes includes potentially around curves. So if I have a sanitary line that is going north, so right in here we have a tangent section that is way over 185. So let's shorten that. So we have a straight section here, tangent is 84 meters. If your pipe continues around the corner, okay, clear that. So if we continue around the corner, your pipe will start to appear curved. In Civil 3D, we'll draw it as one long curved pipe. In theory, they're going to place a pipe in, rubber gasket, bend and angle it a little bit. So as you go around the corner, are we going to add another manhole in Civil 3D? Right, for this section, do we need to add any additional manholes? No, because we're less than the 185 meters. So we'll have a manhole down here with a tangent pipe. In Civil 3D, we'll have one pipe, then we will have a long curved pipe for the curve, and then another tangent pipe. So where those two pipes join, we want to ensure that there's no drop, right? Just so Civil 3D can monitor it. So you have a 0.4% pipe straight, then a 0.4% slope pipe curved, then another 0.4% pipe that's tangent. So the slope is consistent. We just have three pipes in Civil 3D, and it'll make more sense when we go to draw them. So that's what that rule is a pipe-to-pipe match, and let me know if they're not connected. Because when you give the contractor the information and there's a hole in the pipe, they're going to be phoning you. Would you rather know about it beforehand and fix it than, hey, we're building this. We're now waiting on you. So does that make sense? So that's why I've got so many rules in here, because Michael, you have the table open. How many pipe sizes are there? Or Storm? Okay, so we have like up to, I'm going to say anything over 900 is the same size. So for Storm, we start off with 300 diameter. That's the smallest storm pipe you have. So 300, 375, 450, 525, 600, 675, 750, and 900. So like 9 sizes. Right? Each one of these rules is built off that table. So if I look at Storm 300, length check, 185. Cover and slope, 300 diameter storm pipe is 0.32. Minimum cover, 1.2. So this is set up for a 300 diameter storm. 375, 0.24. Is that correct? 375. Yeah. So 0.24 based on PVC. 450, yeah. 450, this is 0.26. Yeah, 0.26 for concrete. Right, so just double check that these are correct before you go and use them. And I've got it set for 2.5 because technically that is the minimum, but you want to try and stay deeper. So we need to come in and set up all these rules. Right, your template may or may not have that set up when you go to work for a company.